So the other day we made a video talking about New York Rangers forward Alexis Lafreniere. In this prior video, we discussed how because he was extended to a 2-year deal, this seems like the perfect trade scenario for him should he not really impress in 23-24 and not show signs of growth. This is a good chance for him to really bounce back and showcase his worth and hopefully really prove to Rangers fans that he is all that he was advertised to be. However, when it comes to the Rangers and their top-tier forwards, guys drafted at the start of these NHL drafts, Alexis Lafreniere is almost never mentioned without talking about the guy who went second overall the previous year, 2019's Kaapo Kakko. Today in this video, what I wanted to do was ask a very simple question. What's next? Now, we already made the video as well a few weeks ago, talking about what happened, the 3-4 years later kind of look at Hughes versus Kakko, but in this video I wanted to talk mostly about Kaapo himself because when it comes to what happens next, when it comes to his future, sure, you could look at the guy taken first and say, yeah, Jack Hughes already had his breakout year. He is a 100-point guy, he's amazing. And Kaapo Kakko is not, so haha. It's easy to look at the points from last year and just say, yeah, okay, things are really looking good in Hughes' favor, but I feel like for this upcoming season, things could really be on the cusp of seeing Kaapo Kakko exhibit a similar growth path. Not to say that Kakko is getting 100 points next year, but when it comes to the chance that Kakko actually breaks out in 2023-24, I think it's honestly more likely than not. Take a look at the production from last season. Kaapo Kakko, in 82 games played, had 40 points, 18 goals, 22 assists. He also played for Team Finland at the International World Championships. He had 6 points in 8 games over there. And pretty much the biggest thing with Kaapo Kakko is that when you saw this guy on the ice, you actually had a pretty talented profile out there. Not to say that he was the absolute dominant force that he was during the Finnish season in 2019, but you saw just a very capable hockey player who's got size, who's got some bite, who's got some offensive potency, who always had a really good shot, and a guy who just kind of suffered because of deployment. Here's an Instagram post made on the NHL page. They posted a quote from Mike Rupp on NHL Network. He said this: Kaapo Kakko is going to be high 20s, maybe pushing 20 goals this season. And the thing is, when you see the NHL Instagram page post straight up, yeah, Kaapo Kakko could get 30 goals next year, a lot of the comments are going out there and saying, yeah, what the hell, didn't he have like 40 points last year? What are you talking about, 30 goals? Is he really that good? No way, fam, no way. That's like 50% of the comment section. The other 50% comes directly from the Rangers fans themselves, who are all saying similar things. How Kaapo Kakko was a very talented player, but he was sheltered on the fourth line. How he wasn't given much power play time at all, and how just in general the situation was not great for watching his development. Sure, the Rangers are not really going out there and losing sleep over the fact that Kaapo Kakko is not a 100-point player. They're still a good hockey team. But when you talk about Kaapo Kakko and the strides he has taken, the version of him that suited up for the Rangers to start out 2019-20 is completely different from what he is today. He's a lot more mature. He's really started to get things together at the NHL level. You just gotta see him get that chance. And the reason why I'm honestly pretty optimistic about this as well is because if you have the current setup that the Rangers have with their Daily Faceoff page, I know Daily Faceoff isn't the Rangers themselves, but it's like, these are the projected lines here. If you have Kaapo Kakko finally getting a chance at the top line role with Kreider and Zibanejad full time, if you give him that chance for the full year, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, I'm not saying he's going to get 82 games played as a first liner, but if you give him that chance and he gets enough of a sample size to actually pot the puck in a few more times, I think it is more likely than not that Kaapo Kakko at the very least gets to that 20-goal mark. I mean, sure, you could say, hey, the guy had 18 goals last year. What are you talking about? He just needs to get 2 more goals. Okay, 20 goals, 25 goals. If he does hit 30, I don't think that would be the most surprising thing in the world. And when it comes to the Rangers and how the fans view this team, I'm seeing so many of y'all saying things like, yeah, he just needs the chance. He is poised to breaking out. He is good enough to be one of these top players. They just got to get him off the fourth line. They got to get him out of the bottom 6. They got to give him power play time, because without these opportunities, he's not able to actually prove us right. And it's not even just top 6 minutes by itself. You have to give him top 6 minutes and allow him to feel that he's got that locked down. Because if he's afraid to make a mistake, if he becomes a little bit tentative because, okay, if I give the puck up in the corner, I'm going to get placed on the third line for the next period. If he's all of a sudden worried about what he's doing, that's when he gets in his head. That's when he stops being effective. He's got to have that confidence to just take over shifts like we thought he would be able to do back when he was a draft-eligible prospect. And it's interesting because he has been so good in the smaller sample size he has had that at this point, I feel like when you try to balance everything out, you could say, all right, well, the Rangers are a hockey team that are supposed to go out there and win. And in order to win, you have to give your team the best opportunity to do so by putting the best players at the top of the lineup, right? And I feel like for these guys, Kaapo Kakko especially, he is good enough where he can sort of fall into that mold. Where if you give him the minutes at the top line, it's no longer, oh, look at that, they're sacrificing their chances to win because they want to develop Kakko. Oh, look at that, they're putting themselves in a worse spot because a better player is on a second line or something. I feel like just the way he's gone through his development the past few years, it's night and day. The skills are still there, the size is still there. He's got a really good toolkit of what succeeds at the NHL level, but just the toolbox, you know, the brain behind it, the one who's moving the wrench, it's just not there yet. And I feel like as long as Laviolette gives Kakko his chance to exercise those tools, we will see significant improvement. And NHL Network is going out there to the point saying that, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to be 20 to 30 goals next season for Kaapo Kakko. And I know that's a huge range, but if he gets 25 plus, near 30 goals, that should be the ultimate sign that things are turning in the right direction. Does he get 100 points sometime soon? Does he catch up to Jack Hughes sometime soon? Probably not. I feel like the Hughes train has already left the station, and Kaapo Kakko is unfortunately an afterthought in that conversation, but there still is a lot more to look forward to for this guy. So I want you Rangers fans to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What next for Kaapo Kakko? Some of y'all are saying 30 goals, others are saying it really depends on the time, the minutes, the deployment. What do you think is the most ideal situation for Kakko? What do you think is actually going to happen? And if everything goes right, what does that look like? What happens if Kaapo Kakko doesn't have a good season next year? He gets first line time, but he doesn't make the best out of it. What happens with Kaapo Kakko at that point in time? Because you got to remember, this guy does have a contract that is expiring at the end of 24. So what then? He's going to expire as an RFA. Do you trade him away? What is the deal there? So, thoughts in the comment section below about Kaapo Kakko. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.